Friends, am I audible and visible?
Yeah, now you're audible and you're visible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And sorry for this.
No, 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 no issues, sir. No
Okay,
issues. It
let's
happens.
get on with with our discussion. Okay, so when we talk about this Nagaland, if you look at the hotels from 1st December to 10th December, everything is packed, whether it is the smallest of hotel or the star hotels. 11th December, immediately you will find the rates are going down and all those things are happening. So what we are seeing here is a trend, and we will also find out how we can utilize the trend. Naresh, no video. Um, Friends, am I visible? Ankita, Ashish. Yes, sir. Am I visible? Or
Yes, you're visible. Could you just repeat your question?
my question is, am I visible or audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, because Mr. Naresh is not able to see me. Um, and what about Mr. Ashish? Are you able to see me?
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay. Okay. So, Naresh, can you help? I really don't know what to say.
In fact, this problem was there with Nareshji on the first session also.
Okay. Okay. So,
I'll just speak with him.
yeah, yeah, sure, sir. In the meantime, let's get on with life. Let's get on with whatever we are doing. Now, when you talk about the manager, suppose if I am a manager of a star hotel in Nagaland, yeah, in Kohima. Now, can I predict how my hotel rooms will be booked? I know from 1st to 10th it will be booked, but does that mean on 11th I'll lose my job? Does that also mean that the 20 people I have in my hotel will lose the job? And that is the reason why we need to understand a long-term trend. There might be some special occasions when the spike will go up, but otherwise you have to smoothen the curve. So this is what we will learn in today's discussion: how to forecast and smoothen it out to such an extent that that curve will lead to the future prediction. Remember, forecasting means future predictions. If I am selling 500 numbers today and I was selling 300 numbers in the past 10 days and 400 numbers in the other days, what is going to be the next day's sale? Remember, the forecasting is the basis of business. If you cannot forecast what is going to be happening tomorrow or 2 months later or a year later, you cannot run a business, because business is not day to day. You know, there is some term which we have a little laugh also. It's known as pakodanomics. Yeah. So that is, once the Honorable Prime Minister says, if you don't get anything, sell pakodas. What he meant to say is start your own. So we actually, I could see on the net, I'm sure you can go to Google and find out. There is an actual article on which is known as pakodanomics, that is economics of pakoda, and so on. So what I'm trying to say here is that even if you're a pakoda seller, you need to know how much products I have to buy, how much potatoes, how many onions, how much of masala, and I have to make how many. How do I know that? It depends on how the market is, how the demand is. Some days the demand will be huge, some days the demand will be low, and he knows that, right? So this is what I'm trying to say. We are forecasting. Yeah. So let's see something. Okay. I'm taking case. It is known as airline miles. I will give you the case. Don't worry. I'm giving you all the cases. Now, the airline case says that if you look at this, I mean, I want you to give a minute or two on what you're seeing. What you're seeing here is month number. Yeah, we have got a list of about 112 months, which is about, say, about 9 years or so. Yeah, so you look at the month number. And if we look at it, yeah, the thing is, now I want you to forget what is written here. We will do that. We will actually try to find out. So I have got 112 miles, months, which is equivalent to about, say, 10 years, not 10 years, 9 years or something. Okay, now I have a data of 9 years. And these are the miles which I find the Americans are traveling. Now, this is an American case, right? These many thousands, that is 328, 54, 790, 100,000 miles, which means maybe 3.28 billion miles. Yeah. And January. Then February is 3.08 miles. March is again 3.75 miles. And so on and so forth. July, August is again, in fact, right from June onwards, it is approaching around 4 billion miles. Yeah. And then December also is approaching about 3.7 billion miles. Right. And then that continues, this trend continues for 8 years. So what do I do? I need to know what is going to be my forecast for the next few months. Yeah, if I have got this data, how do I forecast for the next few months? And how do I do this forecasting so that people can understand it well? In last discussion, or the last time when we had a small discussion on forecasting, we said that the relationship will be a scatter, thing. Yeah. Now, scatter chart may not work here. So what I am doing is, okay, I will also tell you the importance of data or the importance of more data. Suppose if I take only 12 months, January to December, yeah, and then I plot a scatter chart. So insert, we know the methodology, insert, charts, yeah, and then scatter chart, right? This is what comes up. Now, what it says is this here. Okay. It gives us some information. I'm not too sure what it means. So what do? I take one more year. Yeah. So say 24 months. And then again do the thing like, this, and then scatter charts and see what happens. Something is coming up. I'm still not sure where the next dot will be. Okay. So what do? I take the entire 8 years of data. 112 months of data. Right? Now, again, insert, charts, and then scatter. This is what comes. Now it's even more confusing. I don't know what's happening. Right? So what do? How do you make some sense out of it? Okay. What you do is, all you do is, again, go back to insert, go back to charts, click here, and when you are having all these options, click on the second one. What is the second one? Scatter with smooth lines and markers. Click. Now we are finding something. So what I do is, to make some sense, I just pull this on the right side. Now it makes some sense, right? Right from April to April 1, September 2002 to April 2012. Some sense have come through. Yeah? Are you getting it? Now, what you're finding here is that in a year, there are about 2 spikes, approx. What are the spikes? One is December. Yeah, just after October, there is November, December, there is one spike. In January, again, it is very low. The next spike is somewhere towards the summers. Why? Because many of the Americans start traveling in summers. That is also known as the driving season and whatnot. I mean, I've heard a lot of things. Driving season or the summer holiday season, whatever. So that is another time when the airlines get a spike, right? So we have one is December, January, right? And the other one is somewhere about May. That is the peak is May. So if I have these data, how do I make some sense out of it? Yeah, let us do something like this. Go on this, click right on this chart, and this is what you'll get. Can you read this? I mean, is it visible what I'm showing?
Yes.
Okay. So there you have an option, delete, reset to math style, change series, select data, add data labels. I'm going straight to here, add trend line. Okay, now this is a straight trend line. Why it is a straight? Because ups and downs are almost equal. Now that does not make any sense. So what do? I then go ahead and ask the chart to show me the moving average. Now here, when I'm shown moving average, what it shows is it is again following the same pattern of these dots. So I make it slightly higher. Maybe I have, instead of 2 points, I have 12 points. Let's see how it looks like now. Now you see some sense is coming out. Am I getting it? Are you getting it? What it shows is if you have a straight line, then there is almost nothing. That's a straight line in between this. Because the up and down, both the peaks are almost equal, the trend line will be straight. But if I take a moving average, now what is a moving average? Moving average is basically you are trying to find out over a period of time how the trends have been. And what is the trend? It shows that somewhere in 2002 beginning, the numbers were less. Why? Because maybe after 9/11, people were scared to take a flight. So the first two are very less. In fact, it is the least. And then gradually by 2003 odd, people got over their fear and the normal trend line started. In fact, it peaked somewhere in 2005. Gradually over a period of time, if you look at the peaks are going down. Now, this gives us some information. What is the information? That the number of seats filled are going down. Why they are going down? They are going down maybe because of n number of reasons. Yeah, because if you look at 2008, yeah, since 2008-9, it is going down because of the Lehman problem. Maybe people did not have much time, much money, because Lehman wiped out a lot of jobs. Lehman, you know about it, right? The 2008-9 fiasco in US.
Yes, derivative market crashing.
Yes, the market crashed, the jobs crashed, and because everything crashed, the airline tickets sold were less. So the trend line from 8 to 12 is on the lower half. That is, it is going slightly lower. Now the question is, what about 13, 14, 15 up to 2020? Last 8 years, what has happened? That trend line we need later, because see, the research takes about 10 years to be published. So if it is April 2012, until then, if I have a research, then I can publish it only in 2000 and maybe 16 or 18. Yeah, so that is the latest we have. But this gives us a lot of information. It tells us that over a period of about, say, 8, 9 years, this is how the airline industry has, fared. That is, it is going up, down, and then between 2004, or maybe between 2005 and 2008, things were fairly smooth. That is what the trend line tells us. Because it was smooth, we are having almost a straight line in that. But after 2008, after the Lehman hit, you can actually, in a very, if you really do it, you can actually measure it month to month. And when you measure it month to month, you'll find that after Lehman happened, I think it happened in June or July. So if you look at that, let's see if I can extend it a little bit more. Yes, I can. So since I've extended it a bit more, this is what it shows me. It says that from from June of 8 or July of 8, the airlines seats have gone extremely low. In fact, it is as low somewhere about, say, January 2009. It is as low as just after 9/11, somewhere about September. Right? And by July, August, September, I think it must be somewhere about September, October of 2009, you will find it is going even below 2002. And the overall thing is, it is on the lower thing. So if you were an analyst of airlines and you were talking about how my airlines will do in the next few months, this is what you would have said, that no, I think the airline seats will not get fully filled, and we will have to take a few months or a few years before demand comes back. So the demand has been is low, and because of that, the demand will remain low, because the straight line meets here and it is almost straight, which means that demand, the trend line here is corresponding to about 3,75,000, and the trend line up is corresponding to about 4,10,000. So that means there is a difference of about 75,000 or 75 million seats, not thousand, million seats. So 75 million seats might not be coming back soon. So this can be one way in which you can present it to your office, right? Any questions on this? Any questions? Because with this, we are more or less done with the forecasting. So we have done linear forecasting, we have done linear regression, we have done multiple regression, and today we are talking about moving average and smoothing.
Pranav, you have
Yeah.
shown the data and you've shown the trend lines. Now, if my boss is asking me, Ankita, what is the sales going to be in the next quarter, say like April,
Correct.
May, June, what
Correct.
number will I give them?
You follow the trend line?
So is there a way we can extend the trend line to give us numbers?
Yes, yes, yes.
So can you show us how to do that?
No, that is, see, I can't draw a line. That is what Ankita has to now decide. Now, the trend line shows that about 75 million seats are not coming back for almost 3 years. Correct? Now, these 75 million seats, if they're coming back or not, how do I understand that? That is where this is what you can do. See, if I say this from, let's say, May 2005 or slightly earlier than that, somewhere about here, somewhere about, let's say January 2005 to up to almost here, that is maybe June 2009, it is almost a straight line. What that means that whatever was happening in maybe May 2005 is still happening in May 2006, and it is happening in maybe May 2007. Okay, so I know what I can expect because this trend line is straight for almost, say, what, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Now, from July 2009 or slightly before July 2009, the trend line is also straight, but it is going down, right? And if I have a trend line which says it is down and it is almost straight for 10, 11, 12, that is 3 years, and the first trend line was straight line for 5 years, then my guess is for the next 2 years, this trend line will continue. So that's why I said forecasting is not only talking about what you feel it should happen. Forecasting says what is the trend line and the trends in the past which I can extend it. So the lower thing is only there for about 3 years, from 9 to 12. But the higher one was for about 4.5, 5 years. So if I take that same ratio, that means for the next 1.5 to 2 years, whatever is the figure, obviously it will go up, down, up, down, up, down, everything is fine. But whatever is the figures, I have to minus 75 million from them in a year, of course. So I'm not saying that in May the chart will not go up. Of course it will go up, but it will go up to a level where it is minus 75 million. Will it go down in October or so? Yes, it will go down, but it will go down to a level where it is again minus 75 million and so on. So whatever it is, I'm seeing a trend for 3 years that 75 million seats are not there. So what do I do? Then your boss will take a decision. Can I reduce the number of flights? Can I reduce the number of, what do I say, the routes? Can I rationalize the routes? Maybe there are some routes which are still profitable even after 2008. There are some routes which are not profitable. So maybe remove those routes, make only the profitable ones. Maybe add on a few planes to those profitable ones so that the graph can go up. Now, this is a decision. Yeah. So as analytics people, we cannot give a decision. We can only show this is what the trend line is. So if the boss says, Ankita, where do you feel the trend line will be? You can just draw it as per the previous one. If it was high for 5 years, your forecast would be, it will be low for 5 years. This is what I can tell you. Now, if you ask me, can there be a sudden fluctuation? Yes, there can be a sudden fluctuation. Why not? Why not? Yeah. So this is obviously there. We will talk about it, the sudden fluctuations also now, today itself. So barring any sudden fluctuations, the trend line is lower by 75 million seats per year. Now, if you tell that, yes, I want to fill up all my seats, and from say $150 per seat, I'm reducing it to $30 for the first 2 million seats. I can tell you that 2 million will be sold within 1 hour. Does that mean the number go up? Of course it will go up. Will the trend chart go up? Of course it will go up. But why are you selling at $120 less? Because the trend line says that 75 million seats will not be filled. So for filling those 75 million seats, obviously some decision has to be taken by your boss. See, we are now not decision makers. We are now analysts. We will only have to give data to the marketing guy. So this is the data, and in a nice way. So we will be, churning the data, making it into a nice model. This is what we have done. See, we had, if you look at this, see what we had with us is 112, some figure known as 112, and some data known as January, February, March, April, and so on, and some data which says 3870718, 3682784, and so on. What we are doing is trying to make sense out of this data. Instead of this, we don't keep it as a random data. We are now analyzing the data to find out some intelligence out of this. So this is what, Ankita, you can tell your boss, that this is what happened. 5 years, the line was straight. I expect the line to be straight for another 5 years, and 3 years have already passed. The line is still straight. Another 2 years, I expect the line to be straight. That is 75 million seats are lost. Then what is to be done with the data is boss's job. That the Southeast Airlines' boss will tell you, yes, I believe we should reduce the seat cost, or blah, blah, or reduce the number of air hostesses, or the number of pilots, whatever. I mean, that is their decision. We only have to give the data. This is known as marketing analytics. Yeah. Why we are saying marketing analytics and not business analytics or HR analytics? It is because the data is going to give us or going to lead to some marketing decisions. Can you use this data to understand how many air hostesses are to be recruited? No. Can you use this data to say how many $1 million we have to borrow from the market? No, because this is purely marketing. This is my product, how many are going to be sold, and what is going to be the gap. We are giving them the gap. So how do you fill the gap? Then those marketing decisions have to come in. So this is what your analytics is. This is going to lead to a marketing decision. If there's data, some data, I'm sure, Ankita, you have been in HR analytics. What is HR analytics going to say? It is going to say, this is the position I have got. These are the number of candidates I need, and this is the skill set I need. So make a chart and say, where do I get it? I need, fresh BTech computer science graduates whom I'm going to pay 15,000 rupees. I can tell you, Infosys gives only 15,000. Okay, anyway. So I need a BTech computers and salary level is 15,000. Kidhar milega? Can I go to IIT? Anyway, whatever they are going to tell, I can't even repeat here. Ladies are around. Can I go to NIT? Again, the same thing I'll listen to. That, okay, I'm coming from XYZ company. I'm going to give you 15,000. We need computer science graduates. Yeah. And then you also say not only computer science graduate, they should also have 75% plus. And we are going to give 15,000 rupees. Patthar marega. But if I go to, maybe Kaziranga University in Assam, and I go there and I say, I want computer science graduates with 75%, and I'm going to give 15,000 rupees, believe you me, 100 people will be sitting. If I go to Warangal Institute of Technology, or whatever, and I say I'm paying 15,000, mil jayega. So what happens is once my data analytics is done, and I say my thing is BTech 75%, computer science, and 15,000. So if I have four data columns which I have to do, then I have to find out who are my targets. I can't go to the top tier engineering colleges. I can't go to the second tier engineering college. 15,000 mein nahi aayega. I have to go to the fourth tier 4 or tier 5 engineering colleges. Question is, where do I get them? That is where your boss will come and say, okay, Ankita, take a flight, go to Raurkela. Take a flight, go to Jorhat. Take a flight, go to Jammu or wherever. So this is what is the decision your HR director will take or HR vice president will take. What you have to give is your some sort of a data or in a nice way. So this is,
Professor, I have two questions.
yeah, sure,
I'm
Devesh,
sorry.
please.
Okay, so first thing is now, as you were saying earlier, that the forecasting model is more or less completed with the linear one, then the multiple, and now the moving averages.
True.
Now to summarize, if I say, I mean, I'm sorry I joined a bit late,
No
but
problem.
linear and multiple forecasting methods will be used when the time frame we're talking of is within an aspect of a year.
Not necessary. Not necessary. In fact, Devashish, you joined late. What we did was, we did this example using different time frames. We started off with 12 months. We didn't get much data. We started off with 24 months. Even then, the data was heavily towards
Exactly.
this thing.
Exactly. That was my point. That moving averages maybe makes sense if you now in this case you have taken a database which is spread across a decade or more
Correct.
than a decade.
Correct.
So it is easy to plot a moving average. But
Right.
had it been taken for a year or 2 years, maybe multiple regression would have made more sense with respect to being predictive and actual.
See, what I'm trying to say here is that multiple regression would not, will only tell you what is happening. For decision, you need to forecast how the trend is. Even if you have 24 months of data, I'm sure the company must have maybe monthly targets. So if I have 24 monthly cells, I'm sure I can have a moving average on that also. Why not? I may not be able to predict for 2 years. Like in this case, I can predict for 2 years because 5 years the lines are almost stable. So, but in a case if you have 2 years of data, maybe I can predict for 3 months. And if there is a substantial differences in the months, then my prediction becomes even better. If there are no differences in a month, or if it is very erratic, then it is difficult to forecast. Even now, even with all these charts, if your chart is erratic, or if your data is erratic, then it is difficult to forecast. I can be very sure. These are all there because there is a trend. These are trends in front of you. These are trends that if it is January, February, December, January, February, possibly the numbers will go up because of Christmas. If it is April, May, June, the numbers will go up because, summer season is when Americans travel, and so on. But if there is no trend and if there is some erratic data, then nobody can predict it. That is obvious. Even the best tools cannot predict it. But there is always a but. I'll come to that case again. But what happens if that erratic thing or the erratic figures are coming because of a third thing happening? I'll come to that. Yeah. For example, I'll come to that. So let's take another example. With this, at least we complete more or less the forecasting models. Now, what is remaining is neural and Winters. Now, for that, I really would love it if you have Palisade software. I doubt if anybody has a Palisade software, or else I would have talked about neural networks. But I'll
How do
just
you spell it?
PALISADE. Now you get a free trial. If you want to download it, we can talk about it. But right now, forecasting, So let us do the forecasting first. So once this is done, let us go to something else. Let us take one more example where the erraticity is also explained by some other factor. Okay, let's do that. Okay, now I'm just opening another Excel. Give me a minute. Okay. Okay, now this is also some data for sales of a restaurant. Yeah. And this is what the data says, that in the month of January, the sales was $156, $1,000, $86,000, and so on and so forth. And it is for 3 years. Okay. Now, let us do a simple regression. Insert charts, and let us do this. Okay. So this is what the chart says. It says month-wise, it goes up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, I'm also expanding it. Okay. Right? Now, what we find is in between, there are peaks. This is a peak, this is a peak. This is a small peak anyway. This is the peak, this is the peak. Yeah. If we correspond to the numbers, let us find out why has the peak come in 4. It has come because of promotion, right? Second, let us also find out another peak is here, again promotion. This, if you look at 20, promotion. If you look at 32, 33, yeah, 31, promotion, and so on. So what we find from this is that these peaks are explained by promotion done by that company, by that hotel for this month. So if your promotion is done, then your sales go up. If the promotions are not there, then your sales go down. you can actually plot a trend line also. You know how to plot the trend line. Go to the chart, right click, add trend line, click, and make it a moving average. And since it is for 3 years, let us make it for maybe 5 or 6. Yeah, so I make it for only 5, right? So I have a trend line also coming here. Now the thing is, what happens when you take away the promotions? As soon as you take away the promotions, the sales go down. When you have a promotion, inevitably in most of the cases, the chart has gone up. So the chart.
Professor, could you just,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, could you just explain me quickly that when you change the period from 2 to 5 or 6, what does this feature doing this action mean?
I'm taking more touch points.
Okay,
I'm taking more touch points. That's all. I can make it 2 also, but 2 means 2 touch points. And it is almost a straight line. In fact, ideal is anything between say 5 to 10. So if the data is for 3 years, that is 36 data, I'm using 5 touch points. If I'm using 112 data, if you remember the last example, I used 12 touch points. Only then I could get some sense. You can increase the touch point. If let's say, if you talk about trend line and you go to moving average and you want to take, let's say 12, not an issue. Yeah, the touch points are even there. But what I'm trying to say is, with 12 touch points, the data does not vary much, or the trend line does not vary much. So if I have 5 also, the trend line is similar. And if I have 12 also, the trend line is almost similar. So that means that 5 is enough to understand what is going to happen next month. And since the data is only for 3 years, our sense of prediction will not be more than 3 to 6 months. And that prediction is only one. External inputs or external stimulus has done these peaks. So if you check the date and check the stimulus, you will find in most of the cases, stimulus is there. That is, what is the stimulus? Promotion. So if tomorrow your boss says, what will be the sales next month? Then you can say, without stimulus, my next month will be low. With stimulus, my next month will be high. Now the question is, how much does it go by? Well, that is obviously here. Then you have to follow the trend lines, right? And the trend line is this. It is almost a sinusoidal sort of a line. So if I say, is it going to go down? The answer would be yes. So it can go down here and then it will go up. Yeah, so if you just calculate what is expected to be happening in the 40th month, then you have to calculate how long does it take for the sign to go down. So if I say it starts at, let's say 5, it went for a peak at around 10, and then it went down at around 14, and then it went up to around 22 to 23. Again in 25, it went down 27, and then again it went up at around 32 or 33. So that means every 16, 17 days, the trend will be up and down. So now if the trend on this day, 36th month, is at, let's say, 1,400 or so, yeah, then I need to know, or maybe, 974.177, then the next month will be lower. And it will go lower up to here. So if it is high at 33, 34, then 12 months. So 34 to maybe 45. So it will go down up to 45 and then go up again. So this is what you can predict. If within this time I want my sales to go up, then I have to spend on promotions. If my sales are going down very frequently, then my promotions has to be as frequent. Yeah. So if you look at the promotions chart, you'll find that there is a promotion in 31 and there is a promotion in 35. And in both the cases, there was a peak. In 31, the peak was big. In 35, the peak was very small. So maybe, just maybe, you can also talk about whether the promotions are working. Yeah, whether the promotions are working. At one time, promotions meant the peak would be reached, but otherwise now we are finding that even after promotions, the peak is not reached. Right? So you can talk about it. Any questions, any queries? So what we have done.
So post 36, so on 36th point December, when the sales was 974,
Right.
and the predictive analysis would be now, let's say, what would be for the new year. Now the new year coming in January, February, March, next
Right.
quarter, the last quarter of the month, let's say there's a promotion. So
Right.
what would be my, I mean, which how much, let's say there is input, let's say there's a third input of promotion.
Right.
Let's say I have another figure of promotion, how much I'm putting in money.
Correct. Correct.
With that as an input, which formula would I use for the next quarter to gauge how much will I go up?
Great. Now, if you look at this chart, again, we are going to the trend line. See, the trend line says that when it goes up or down, up and down, so when the promotions are given, it goes up and then it goes down. For example, I want you to go to the first few ones. Yeah. If you look at it, 1 and 3 had promotions, but 1 and 3 had only small up, right? But the 9th promotion, yeah, was terrific. The 9th and the 12th, it gave two big jumps, right? The 9th and the 12th, right? So if I say that, sorry, the 9th gave a big jump, the 12th gave a small jump. So the question is, even if I put in money for promotions, will this chart become a straight line? The trend is, even if you put in promotions, the jump will be smaller because the trend line says now is the time to go down up to here. That is up to 37 or 38. And then, or something about that, and then it will go up. So up to from 35 to 38, will the promotions help? Yes, it will help. Maybe from 974, it might go to maybe 1000 or whatever. But at the end of it, the trend is down. That means only on the day when the promotions are, some jump will be there, but otherwise it will be going down. And by about 38th or 40, then it will again go up. So this is how the trend is. It's a cyclical trend. So you can.
So if you look at if you look at two different time frames,
right.
If I'm looking at point number 18, which is June, and if I look at point number 23, 18 to 23 is one this thing. Let's take one bracket. So that is for the same duration. If you take 30 and 35, June to November again, comparatively in 18 to 25, the trend high went in 20.
Right. Right.
And there has been a gradual increase, and then it just fell through. Similarly, during the same period, the gradual hike came early in 31, and it went down south.
Right.
So maybe the promotion needs to be changed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is what we are discussing. That it is not necessary that the promotions are giving a lot of inputs. If you look at the last 3 data, there has been a promotion on 31. Okay, it has given a bump, but there was a promotion on 35, nothing much. Nothing much, almost a straight line, and going down. So maybe the promotion needs to be changed. Yes. So the two things which we get is it is on a downward trend, and it will remain downward for about 4 or 5 months as per our data, and then again it will go up. But in the meantime, if you are giving promotions a bit too much because the numbers are very low, can I get a bump? Yes, you'll get a bump, but not a very big bump. The last big bump was in 31. But by the time you're coming to 37 or 36, it is going down drastically. From 1475, it has gone down drastically to 974. So this is what we need to understand. That possible, that's the second thing you have to understand, is possible that our promotion otherwise always gives us a big jump, but in the 35th one, the jump was very small, which means that by now, by in 3 years' time, maybe the promotion itself needs to be redesigned. I'm just, I think that can be one of the things. It can be redesigned. Right. Then what is the new effect of promotion? See, the effect of promotion, if you look at the first few charts, the effect of promotion was we started off on 1st Jan with a promotion, and the next one was in March. So if you look at Jan and March, the one is a little bit, March is a little higher, and then the main jump was somewhere about 7th. Sorry, where is the next? 9th and 7th. So these two were big jumps, which means that when you start a promotion, maybe the clients will take a little time to absorb it. Once they absorb it, then the benefits will be there. So this is another thing we learned from this. Is it fine?
So coming back to my question, so as I asked earlier, that I am at 36, which is December.
Right.
For the last quarter of the year, let's say there is a third component, which is promotion, and I have the figures accordingly.
Right.
So now let's say what is the mean? What is the medium or the formula that I will use to calculate the futuristic input of promotion to get my desired result for the next quarter of January, February, and March?
Okay. Actually, it is slightly away from the scope of this discussion. Actually, there are 4 P's. In marketing, as I told you in the beginning, 4 P's: product, price, place, and promo. So we can have a relationship of product and the sales, the price and the sale. That is the first thing we did in slice and dice: price and sales. So if the elasticity is high or the elasticity is low, depending on that, the numbers sold will be varying. Whether the price goes up and down, the elastic products will have their sales going up and down. So elastic products can be hotels, can be maybe outdoor picnic, and so on. While inelastic products are salt, FMCG products, and so on, which you anyway will buy even if the price goes up, right? So even if it goes up or down, the quantity also remains same, because in a house, if I need 1 kilo of salt in a month, if the price goes down by 20%, I'm not going to buy 5 pieces of salt or the 5 packets of salt. So that is almost constant. So that is a straight line, inelastic demand. Even if the price goes down, the demand is similar, right? While in an elastic kind of a thing, yes, if the hotel expenses I was giving 1,000, because my hotel charges have gone up to almost 100%, I don't want to go to the hotel, right? This is elastic. Tomorrow, if the hotel says, hey, there is a promotion, come eat as much as you want, buffet, 100 rupees. Again, I'll take my bike and go there, or I'll take my car and go there and eat, right? So this is elastic demand. While, daily items, daily necessities, vegetables, these are inelastic. Tomorrow, if the cost of onion goes up to 80 rupees a kilo, believe you me, for the first 1 or 2 days, maybe there will be a little feedback saying that, nahi, kanda nahi lagayenge. Suddenly, they'll say by the third day, things become normalized. You still get 2 kilos of onion. So this is what I'm trying to say, that there are elastic demands, inelastic demands. So that is the second. Third, advertising or promotion. The question is, how much of a advertising will give me how much of a sales? There are equations, but we have not done it. If you want, then we can talk, but it will extend our discussion. So
Let's
there
not
are,
digress.
sorry?
I'm saying let's not digress.
Yeah, that's
I'll look it up. I'll look it up myself.
Yeah, you can. I mean, we can always do that. So this is what I'm trying to say here, that every one of those 4 Ps can be, put in an equation. Right. Okay, now. Let me now get into the next formula. Okay. Okay, I think then what we can do is one more example which I had. Where is that? Where is that? Okay. So, Mr. Devashish, let's take your example. I'm taking it only for you, because all of us will learn. It says that if your advertising is 53 and the price is 7. The sales is 400. If your advertising is 68, but the price is 9, sales go down, and so on and so forth. Now, this is what we have done in multiple regression, right? What we are going to talk about is, if there is advertisement and there is a price, will there be a relationship with the sales? We have already done that in multiple regression, remember?
Yes.
So this is what we can do. Would you want to do it once more? Because here we'll be talking about sales and the price and the advertising spend. There we talked about computers sold, the per capita computers sold, the unemployment rate, the per capita income, and the spending on education. Here we'll be talking about the advertising, price, and sales. The thing is same, but then instead of the others, we are using advertising as one of the factors in sales and price as one of the factors in sales. So what we would be liking here is how advertising and price determine the sales. So just because your advertising budget has gone up and your price also you have gone up, will that reach 400? The answer is may not. If your advertising goes up and your price is at 7, the sales is huge, and so on and so forth. So if your advertising is 60 and your price is 5, then the sales is huge, even bigger, 431. If it is 5 and 70, then also it is going up to 432, and so on and so forth. So there is a relationship which multiple regression can bring it out. So that is it. So if you want to do it now, you can do it, so that at least the forecasting part of your thing you are very clear about. Do you want to do it now?
We can do that. I mean, if you have time,
Yeah.
time permits, why not?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah,
but Professor, if you could just share the data, I mean, I would love to do it the way at the same time when you are teaching, so that simultaneously I can do it.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, if that works.
How do I do that? Please tell me.
Just share the sales price, the data, sales price and advertising, copy paste it and save it.
No,
Yes,
no, I mean, how do I send it? Via what?
Through chat.
Through chat? Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm just gathering this.
So I'll just open Excel sheet, copy paste it, and simultaneously what you are teaching there, I'll do it over here.
That will be great. That is exactly why I'm sure you realize every lecture is followed by a practice test. I give one practice for you. I hope you are opening it up. Dr. Gupta sir is giving it. Okay. So I take this and what? Open a new one, file. And then put it in this PC. Desktop.
Save it as a new file on desktop.
Yeah. I'm saving as a new file on the desktop, on my desktop. And maybe I'll give a file name as, test 1. Okay. Open. Aha, why am I doing this? Continue. Okay, blank workbook. Okay, Control V. Okay, file. Save as. Plus PC. Desktop. So test one. Okay, done. Now what do? I pick it up and okay. Do I have to copy and paste?
As an attachment, so just
Yeah.
open the chat window.
Okay, I open the
And,
chat window. Yeah.
There is a icon for files, which is files.
Chat. Okay. Okay. File. Okay. Got it. What? File. Okay. Dropbox. Or what do I do? Your computer.
So go to your computer.
Your computer. Then go to this. Okay. Desktop. And then I'm going to test one. Open. Got it, everybody?
Got it.
Okay. Right. So let's do it now. Yeah, I'm not going to open this. I'll open the same file which you have got. That is test one. So I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to take. Okay. Again. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now let's go to Zoom. Let's go to share screen. We go here and share. Okay. Now we are here. All of us are here.
Yeah.
Okay. So first, select it, starting right from sales. Okay. Okay. Go to data first. Sorry, go to data first. All of you have got the data analysis on the right-hand corner.
Yes, please.
Okay, click.
Resolution.
Okay, then you have got all these analysis tools, ANOVA, correlation, covariance. Go down up to regression. Okay. Done?
Yes, please.
Okay, then okay. Right?
So
Then, yeah.
So Y range is so the
Y range is
dependent
the first one.
dependent. That is the sales
The
one.
dependent variable.
And the price and the advertising is both are independent.
Correct. Because the sales is dependent on price and advertising budget. So select everything, jitna bhi hai, and that is huge data, 334, right? Done? And remember, when you are putting this Y range, you have to start with the label. Don't just take the data. Start with sales and then this. So you start with A2 up to 300. Okay? And And for X range, you take right from price, advertisement, and the entire data. Up to 334.
One moment.
Yeah, sure.
It is telling me X range and Y range cannot overlap. So I
No.
might be making mistakes on
Y
that.
range will be the independent factor.
True.
Sorry, the dependent factor.
Oh,
Independent are
yes.
price and advertising budget.
Yes. Silly me.
Got it? Then you click on labels because you have got labels here. The first cell is the label, whether it is sales, price, or advertising. Done?
Done.
Then you click on new worksheet. That is anyway already clicked.
I did it on the same worksheet. I mean,
yeah, new worksheet. No, not same worksheet. Just say new worksheet. Click on that icon.
okay.
In the output options.
I know.
And then third one is residuals.
Yeah, I did that also.
Yeah, in that you just click residuals.
Done that. I've got the summary output.
Okay.
Got the multiple R and the R square, the adjusted R standard.
Wonderful. So you got a intercept, you got a price, you got a advertising. Yes. Right? Now the thing is,
I'm sorry, I just have one small question over here. So while reading up on the linear regression and multiple regression, there was an equation y equal to bx minus a. Y equal to bx minus a, where b was the slope and a was the intercept.
Okay.
But there was also an equation which said y equal to mx plus c.
Okay.
So bx minus c, the y equal to bx minus a, I understood to be part of the linear regression, but I could not understand where does the y equal to bx plus c came into the picture.
See, the equation of linear regression is that, agreed. But as of now, instead of remembering all the slope factors and other things, the Excel has given us a direct approach. Because see, at the end of it, when you are doing this analysis or analytics, it is marketing analytics. So you can either do it through formula, but because the data is huge, because if you have this AX plus C, then there is a problem that you have to do it for every cell. You have to find out the slope and then do it for every cell. So instead of that, what we are doing is we are taking a complete data and doing this in regression analysis using the power of Excel. So what Excel is doing is it is actually using the same formula and doing it for all the cells and giving you the output in a second. Otherwise, it will take you, if you have got 300 cells, you have to do this equation for 300 times.
No, I was just asking these two equations, where are they used? I mean, I understood one is for the linear. The other one, what is the scenario in which it is used? Just the scenario. Not that I intend to use it.
What is the next equation you said, sir?
Y equal to mx plus c.
What is m and x, sir?
I guess it is m is again the slope and c is again the intercept. But somehow instead of the subtraction, it was the addition sign.
Okay. I really don't know. So you will have
maybe I read something wrong.
No, it's all right. Maybe I can talk about the equation tomorrow, sir. I mean, day after tomorrow. Maybe we'll spend about 5 minutes on that. Because see, at the end of the day, whatever is the equation is only meant for one cell. You will have to calculate the slope. There is an equation for the slope also.
Yes.
And there is an equation for the y-intercept also.
Yes, sir.
So you need both those equations. Then you come to y, and then you come to the slope, and then you multiply it by the figure, and then you do that for every one of the cells. So once you do that, only then will you be able to find out what is the linear regression, and then you have to plot it on a chart. So all these are so easy in Excel. You do the entire thing using Excel, and you get it in what, about 10 seconds?
Got it.
Yeah, so this is it. So now what is it that your intercept price and advertising is going to tell us? It is going to say that what is the price at which each and every one can be sold. For example, if the advertising is X, then what is it going to be in Y? For example, if your residual is 0.826785, then your predicted sales is 399. Now, what is that giving us? It is telling us these coefficients. I think we had an equation also, that is 513 plus minus 16.7327 into the price, whatever it is, $8 or whatever, plus 0.064 or 0.65 into the advertising of say $63. So if you do that and you take the intercept, that is where you will say what can be the standard sales using these two figures. That is what multiple regression tells us. What can be the ideal sales using these two figures? And you have to do that for everyone. So the predicted sales using these two standards is also given here. So the residual output is also telling you if your price is let me see, where is that? If your price is, let's say, 7 and the advertising is 53, then you are expected to sell 399, but you are selling 400, which means the marketing guy is so good. Similarly, if the price is 9 and the advertising is 68, then you will be selling around 366, while you are selling 365. That means one less than what it should be, and so on and so forth. So this multiple regression basically will give you an indicator of what the sales can be if these are the multiple inputs given to it. So you have price, advertising, then you can also talk about maybe go down cost. You can also talk about maybe accessibility per customer and so on and so forth. So all these are there. So that's the reason I believe if you want to know what is the impact of advertising on sales, it cannot be in isolation. It has to be with other things like price. So we are doing this multiple regression using advertising and price and their effect on sales. So this is what we are planning to do, or that is what this equation tells us. Is it now, Mr. Debashish, are you convinced of how to do it? If you have independent variables of price and advertising, maybe we could also have another independent variable of, let's say, logistics cost. And then you can also say the production cost, maybe $2. Yeah, advertising is 53. And then maybe the per capita of maybe product cost will be $2, and so on and so forth. So all these can affect your sales. That's what I'm trying to say. Here we have only got the effect of advertising and price on sales. You can always have the effect of price, advertising, production cost, and the logistics cost or go down cost, and their effect on sales. So entirely your choice which you want to take. Is that fine? Now you can go to this sheet 2. Sheet 2 in a residual output will tell you what is expected to be the sales with these two, price and advertising, working in the same manner as this one, previous one. So your price coefficient is -16, advertising coefficient is 0.06, and your intercept is at 513. So this is how you can talk about it. 399 or something. And then what happens is, once your residual output is in front of you and your predicted sales is in front of you, then you go to the chart of your sales, right? And then you can compare that what is the sales I'm getting and what is the sales which my software is telling me or my analytics is telling me. Is it similar or is it digressing very high? If you want to check it out, you can actually do that. Maybe here, maybe I can take this and take all these here. Control C, maybe Control V. Yeah. What happened?
Paste value, I think it's a formula.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that was a formula. Oh, that is a formula. I'm so sorry. Then maybe I'll have to freeze it. Okay, sorry.
On the top, just paste value.
Where? Here?
No, go to
There, no?
D
Yeah.
and I'll just give you the shortcut if you want.
Yeah, sure. I'm looking forward.
So just go to D26, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'll do that. Let me first cancel this. Okay, now I go to, yeah, D. A.
Now you copy the entire thing from A3 to the
Okay,
bottom.
right.
You can just click Control Shift down
Right.
key.
Okay. Maybe Control Shift, yes.
Down key.
Yeah. Yeah. One second, hang on. Allow me to do that old-fashioned way, please. Yeah. Right. So I have done this, and then I go to sheet 2, and then do what?
Go to D26, press Alt.
Okay.
Alt H.
H.
VV.
VV.
Yeah.
V for victory.
Yeah, twice.
What happened? It's showing colors. Okay. Alt.
Did you
H.
Alt VV?
Okay. No.
Okay, just right click on this cell. D26.
Okay.
D26.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And
Yeah.
paste
Now,
special.
go to the next one. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'll do this. And this is this minus this, which is 0.8 plus. So it means that
I
your
think
sales
residual.
Yeah. Residual is
I
that
think
formula
residual
being
already
used.
does the exercise of variance.
No, residual
Yeah,
does
so
an
that is
exercise
already
of
doing the variance analysis for us.
exactly. So no, it doesn't give the variation. What is done is 513
See, it's this.
plus
If you
price
see,
into, tell me.
so see, in the B output at B25, you can see that this is the sales that it is predicting. what residual is doing, it's already calculating the variance from what our sales has been versus the predicted
Oh,
sales.
sorry. Yes,
So
yes,
if you
it
see
does.
the
You're
number,
right. Correct. You're right. I'm so sorry. Residual is giving you the variance, and it is giving you plus or minus that variance, and that's it. Okay, so this is it. Now shall we go to another problem? Sorry. Okay, this is another data. This is from Walmart. And what it shows is basically year, quarter, and season. Now remember, what we are planning to do here is to find out what is the variation, right? Always remember, the variation is what we are trying to capture. And whether or not there is a sufficient variation for us to capture it more. For example, suppose if the variation is not very high and year to year it is almost similar, then we don't capture it much. But if I look at a retail store, as I told you, Walmart, if I look at yearly, they have 4 quarters. And if you look at the season, they have 4 seasons. In fact, the quarters and seasons may not coincide fully, but yeah, little bit. And they have a sales per quarter per season. Does it change? Yeah. So seasons cannot be more than 4, obviously, but quarters continue going as per the years. Every year has 4. So we continue with quarters right up to maybe about 200 or so, right? But what I do here is that, does the sales change with the season, right? So if I have a quarter one is January, February, March, winter. Then you have the second quarter is April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So if I have 4 quarters and 4 seasons, does it change very much? This, I think you can do it. I can give it to you immediately. 2 things are happening here. Sorry. 2 things are happening here. One is the quarterly sales and the seasonal sales. You're getting it? So if I want to do a multiple regression, and if I take quarter as constant and season and sales are independent, then we need to know per quarter what is the effect of sales and season. Or you can do it the other side. You can take sales as the dependent and season and quarter as independent. So entirely your choice. Basically, you can actually do sales as a dependent variable and season and quarter as independent variables. If you want to do that at home, you can do that. or if you want to do it right now, that you want to know what is the best season and the quarter for sales, we can do that.
Does the time permit?
Yeah, sure. We got 10 minutes.
I
In
mean,
fact,
apart from this, is there anything else to be covered?
no, nothing. This is all. We want to finish up forecasting today.
So if everybody's game, then let's do it.
Do it. So take it. I can give it to you in a separate sheet, and take it.
Please.
Let me take this. Okay. So all of you have got it? All of you have got it?
Yes.
You know what to do. Data analysis. Go down to regression. Okay. Y input here is sales. So you start right from sales down 64. Then Y is your season. And quarter. Okay. So labels, new worksheet, residuals, and okay. So what does it say? Wow. It says everything is positive. So the actual sales is pretty positive.
How do you read that? Just because residuals isn't positive?
See, what I'm saying here is if you look at quarter and this thing, your intercept is very high.
3024.56235.
Yeah, yeah. So if I go back to the sheet one, and if I say what is going to be the sales is 17,686, right? And
Come again?
the sales, the first quarter
Yes,
is 17,686.
Right.
And then it goes on and on and on. So if you want to know how to do it, and if you do this here, you're going to get a coefficient which is so huge. So my question here is it true? Is it true?
Aren't coefficients supposed to be between -1, 0, and 1?
True, that's why I'm saying you're getting a fantastic coefficient 3024, 1443, 3437, and so on. What a fantastic thing, which means that multiple regression may not be used in all things. Here, are you or can you do multiple regression?
Or should we interplay the x and the y? The dependent, should we change them?
Okay,
There is a
change
po-
it. Change it. See how it looks like. Go ahead. I'm with you. So I'm deleting this sheet 3. Yeah, and I'm waiting.
All right, give me a few minutes.
Yeah, take your time, please. That's
I think the mistake here is that it's taking quarter and that a season as a number, which
correct.
it technically isn't.
Correct.
And that's the issue that it's picking up.
Possible. So my point here is, do you need to do multiple regression, or is this problem for multiple regression?
No.
Right. I'm just throwing open the possibilities, because at the end of it, once we have all these data, we love to use multiple regression, moving average, and so on, while what it requires is a pure linear regression. Every quarter, this is the sales, this is how it will go up, this is how it is going in, and so on. Just plot a chart, give a line to it, a trend line, and that's it.
Don't get dissuaded with numbers.
So just because you have 5 years of data doesn't mean that you always need to do multiple regression. This is purely a case of moving average. Linear regression will great. Scatter point, and then you have the trend line. That's it. Yeah. Any questions? Yeah, sorry. So always remember, see, you and me have to decide what is the methodology we'll use. And it is not that every data will require the same methodology. Only when you have got 2 independent data, or 3 independent data and 1 dependent data, yes. If it is purely yearly and your sales, then it is a trend analysis. Yeah. So thank you very much. Have a great evening. And I will send you a few more of these type of. You can expect it by tomorrow morning early.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
You too.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Good night, sir.
Good night.